Their take was, you were too angry in your response to Geraldo. Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry if that offended you, but I'm not sorry I was angry at all. We'll have to disagree on that. Folks, there is so much rank misinformation out there, and sometimes disinformation, on what our cops do in the street, on use of force, that it is polluting the conversation and quite literally causing mass chaos. It's filtering into the media ecosystem and leading people to believe insane things like police officers en masse are walking out on the street with weapons and assassinating unarmed black men. That's a real narrative happening out there in the liberal and liberal media ecosystem, despite the fact that it's categorically false and dangerous. I'm getting tired of it. I'm tired of people who've never spent a moment in a police officer's shoes commenting as if their subject matter expertise on policing actually matters. I debate Geraldo on a lot of things. We agree sometimes. A lot of times we disagree. But his comments last night, I thought, sadly, and I'll be on with them again tonight on Hannity. I'll be on Outnumbered as well at noon if you want to check it out today. I thought were abhorrent, and I'll tell him as much on the air. Let me play the clip. Sorry for the poor sound quality. It's not producer Joe. He did the best he could. But this is me on Hannity. And the reason I sound bad, again, is I'm on cell phone. I'm on a cell phone because my internet broke down. But here's about a minute of it yesterday where Geraldo seems to suggest here, again, I don't know if it's out of ignorance or misinformation, but this is not accurate, that there's no scenario where you can engage in a use of force scenario if you may fire on someone and those rounds hit him in the back. That's not true. That is absolutely not true. Tragic, these use of force scenarios when people are shot and the rounds hit them in the back. But it is absolutely categorically false to say there is no scenario where that is legally warranted by use of force guns. That's false. I'll explain more in a moment, but here's the exchange. I don't like doing this, but this is important last night, and you'll see why I was so angry. Check this out.
He's a drunk driver. He's running away with the taser. Where's he going to run? How far is he going to run before he runs out of steam? He's a drunk.
You don't know what you're talking about. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Stop with the personal attacks, Dan.
No.
Really, seriously.
You have never been a police officer.
Don't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. I have eyes. I'm a citizen. I've been around.
You have never walked a foot post or engaged in a foot pursuit in your entire life. Don't you dare be a fraud right now.
I have spent countless hours with cops. I did a special called the first special called Blacks and Blue. Blacks and Blue. I did the special. I reported the special. I hung out with the cops. I grew up with cops. I was put through law school by cops. I know cops as well as you do.
You have
you can no longer when you get shot in the back, you're shot in the back. Where's he going to go, Dan? Where's he going to go before he runs out of steam this drunk?
Who fled and pointed a stolen weapon in the face of a police officer.
You don't get shot in the back for that. You don't get shot in the back. What do you want?
This was a simple drunk driving incident. You're being an absolute
by defending the indefensible, you make all of your arguments dull. Because
Geraldo,
you've got to be able to call. I love cops. I think they.
Yeah, I was angry. Because he doesn't know what he's talking about. And 3.5 million people, probably 4 last night, probably close to 6 or 7 when the clip went viral after last night. Of probably 6-7 million people probably seen that, maybe more, who actually believe that. Let's go through one by one here, what he said, why he's wrong. And he's welcome to come on the show anytime, by the way, and debate it. I'll be happy to have him. I've gone on his show. Maybe it's time he comes over here and tries to defend himself. He was just a drunk driver? Really? So just to be clear, if you get pulled over for drunk driving, you then violently assault 2 police officers, steal one of their tasers, try to punch them in the face, then run away and discharge the taser while running, and you're turning to them in the face of one of the police officers. You know what those barbs look like, by the way? They can probably penetrate about 1/2 inch of wood, according to a subject matter actual expert who emailed me the other day, who does taser recertifications. So just to be clear, that's still just a drunk driving incident. That has nothing to do with the actual violent assault on the police officer. I'm not having that. It's tragic the man died. I mean that. That's heartfelt. That's not, again, some nonsense virtue signaling. I don't really care about any of that stuff. I don't need to signal virtue to anyone. And neither do you. What your actions speak louder than your words. But it's a fact. Whether he deserved to die or not is not the argument. The argument here is, did those officers do what a reasonable person would have done after being violently assaulted, engaging in a foot pursuit with a now violent felon? He is now assaulted but committed a felony assault on police officers. He has stolen one of their weapons and pointed a taser barb, in their faces. You're assuming, by the way, as well, that the officer even knew it was a taser. And a police officer, shockingly enough, or said he was, emailed me, well, Dan, the taser's yellow. He should have known. Come on, guy. Please. Really? Really? You're suggesting that as he turned it, he absolutely knew it was it. How do you know that? You were there? So just to be clear, the other police officer, the taser is yellow. When you're pointing it in someone's face, it's kind of hard to see the yellow, no? After engaging in a violent assault with this guy where you're assaulted violently, this was not a choice of a good or bad option, shoot or don't shoot. It was a bad option, shoot him, or a worse option, get killed myself. Wake up. We live in the real world, not the fantasy land you want to believe. You show me an instance of clear police use of force violations like the Floyd incident, clear as day. There's no argument. I'm not arguing with anyone about that. I'll call it out. We have to do better. I've said that. But this is BS. And the criticism, there's no scenario that a subject should ever be engaged, even if the rounds land in the back. So just to be clear, a guy turns to point a weapon in your face, turns around, and then potentially turns around again, but you can't shoot him because they may hit the guy in the back. Please stop talking. You don't know what you're talking about. You just made that up. That is nowhere in any use of force continuum, anywhere in the United States. So you're suggesting if he had a gun, if he shoots you once and keeps running and you think he may turn around again, you can't shoot him until he shoots you again in the face? No, you can't shoot him. It may land in his back. Just to be clear, that's what you're saying? Because that's not how police officers are trained. You understand that. No, of course you don't. You just made that up.
You just heard The Dan Bongino Show. You can also get Dan's podcasts on iTunes or SoundCloud. And follow Dan on Twitter 24/7 @DBongino.